Okay, good morning everyone. So we can see that we gapped up since yesterday's close and we are currently at this very important level of previous week's highs. As said earlier, when we have been down to 400, price might go there and spend some time to fill this less traded area. Of course, we need to see first of all if we manage to have a flash down move and fill this gap. Initially, if this supposed to be the initial balance low, we should and see price holding below. We should target gap fill first of all, then 500s. Although we need to pay attention that price needs to hold yesterday's value area high, which comes around 500 area. If it holds and fails to go within, then this is a good trade to hold for Monday's high and then Friday's gap fill, Friday's close up to the 616s. In this case, we need to see price either doing this and filling the gap or just running away and holding above initial balance high, building some value, then going higher towards 600s. Also, in case of the downside that price fails to hold yesterday's high and fills the gap and then continues lower, we should pay attention to yesterday's point of control down towards 460s or so. In anticipation of a breakout, price can go above this previous week's high and take out initial balance high, then trend higher. If this happens eventually, we need to target this week's high. Price action at the moment very slow, neither direction, breakout or breakdown. Let's give it some time to see. Although good scale outs here at these flash ups, bought another pullback and scaled out, now flatten the position here. We need to see if price eventually does something else and goes towards the lower side. At the moment, nothing to do for me so far. Breakdown of initial balance low, the fact that price failed so many times and held resistance here, perhaps now move lower, perhaps we can see a breakdown towards a gap fill. Of course, testing initial balance low now. If this is about to expand, we should go towards the downside. That's why I shorted. This is the reverse scenario. Price failed above, now holding below European cash opening price and previous week's high. So let's see if it goes further down. It seems already scaling out here. So next target will be towards 500s, and if this gives like a 40-50 points 30-minute candle and it's kind of exhausted lower, I will buy for the reversal later. Not the best thing to see that you have been positioning yourself for a breakout, then this breakdown failed and then now it's breaking higher, but it's okay. So we need to see here at this candle, of course, opening and driving higher. Position here at this level, we can see failed at these weekly highs up here as of now. So if this is to remain a balanced day or just can pull back a little bit here and fill me in the profit targets. So this reversed nicely so far, scale out two targets here earlier than I used to, but because I'm adapting the profit targets according to the lower volume ranges of the market as of now. So we need to see if this is supposed to be a balanced day, then this should trade just up and down, and of course it can expand sometime, but let's see. Okay, so here we are close to the turn of the first hour of cash trading. What this just as soon as flatten this position would have worked very nicely after this 30-minute open just fully reversed. Of course, we need to be aware of the bigger picture as talked earlier this morning, that price was the the failure on Monday, which opened and sold off straight down. Now it's just balancing within this area. We need to give it some time and see where it goes. Okay, however, let's see where we are now after a few hours of trading. So price flashed down at first hour of cash trading low here and then bounced back up, held to highs these 500s and rallied higher up to volume weighted average price, held resistance to the tick here. This could be perfect short opportunity. Then we see a kind of support area down here. Which area is this? Is the weekly point of control down to 460s, and yesterday's point of control, as we talked earlier this morning, this area down here. I initiated the long position here and scaled out twice since this support down here. Very nice straightforward trade. Now still holding a third of it. Perhaps if this can go higher at the US cash open, perhaps I would like to hold this until volume weighted average price. So for example, if price can go back above initial balance. Also we can see here, as talked again earlier this morning, that if price can hold yesterday's high, and if it doesn't, if it holds at yesterday's value area high, although it held very nice trading opportunities here if you're trading value areas, but this one was very nice as well, in combination with the Bollinger Bands on the 30-minute chart. Here we see this fully body candle closed outside of the Bollinger Band, then next to an open and rallied almost in the mid of this previous candles range. That's why I initiated here and scale out here. Now still holding. If we focus just on the Bollinger Band and forget everything else, this can grind towards this higher Bollinger Band at the time. Okay, thanks for the comments. Although this trade, you need to compare, every day is different in the markets, not like, for example, like yesterday we saw, let me just scroll, an opening here straight above initial balance, higher, then just sideways consolidation. Nice trade for the first hour. Today the first hour wasn't that great, although you can be patient and the opportunity will come to you if you are patient and not over trading. Of course, the more experience you get, the less trades you take basically. So this trade here took 4 30-minute candles to develop, and sometimes, like yesterday at the first hour of cash open, it took like half an hour to rally like 80 points. Of course, you need to manage your expectations basically about what market will do, and because you want it to do, and you want, of course, obviously your trade to develop further and become a winning. Okay, so got long here, second time, first one too early stopped out. Now we need to see if this can retest back up, held support here at this 100% exhaustion from this low here to the peak. Of course, this doesn't happen all the time, so we have 50% chances now for this to pull back 50% of this distance, so perhaps up to 460. Let's say a board down here. Of course, a couple of early buys here, but already scaled out twice. Now have a target for further upside. Although if we would like to have a look at the weekly chart here, since all-time highs up here, we can see this is 50%, 61% since the recent swing, and currently price failing multiple weeks above 50%. This is very macro picture here. Of course, this can just go above and rally up to 11,000, let's say, but just worth mentioning this. So basically, I brought here the 30-minute chart with Bollinger Bands as well. You can see, we need to see now if this current 30-minute candle closes even with a new low here. I would like to watch the next one if it opens and drives higher for reversal until the European cash close. The previous candle closes, perhaps early trade, but let's see, the probability going lower is of course less, like 10% or so. So we need to see if next candle opens and gradually grinds higher. Okay, so here we're a few minutes until the European cash close. We can see price drifting lower and lower here. This was very nice when you see sharp moves and then have nice reversal. The ones who are moving slower are most difficult to trade, but if you watch a bigger picture like the weekly days here, held support at yesterday's low, which opened and drove higher with very low volume. Of course, this was previously traded here. What we need to see now is if we have a kind of short covering, let's say, which will produce some buying upside momentum towards 400s, and especially if we have a low volume drift higher after the European cash close. Of course, we can have the case that this can just go lower and lower.